Hello and welcome to Dis After Dark, the Universal Edition. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Amanda, aka BostonWhite.
Hey, we're all here.
Yay.
Craig was meant to be here, but unfortunately he's driving the 423 to Houston tomorrow morning, so he can't make it this evening.
Poor Craig.
But he said he likes to listen just as much as he likes to be on the show, so... Right, who wants to start us off with our first Universal news topic?
I will.
Yep, cool. Let's go for it.
So, Universal have announced price changes for the tickets. So, it's going to be the tickets that are sold on the gate. And for one park, it's going to now cost $119 for an adult and $114 for a child.
Wow.
Yes. But... there's no difference to buying it online or buying it in advance or buying a multi-day ticket. It's literally just the tickets that you're going to buy on the gate. So I don't know whether that's going to make like a crazy impact on people, whether it's going to be a massive deal.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it affects UK tickets. I suppose it doesn't, but... it's mostly just for one day, as in most of us that come over, we don't go for one day, do we? So
exactly, and most of us that go over will buy it in advance and we'll buy it online, and we will buy more than one day. But even the 1 day 2-park tickets have gone up as well, so now they will cost $169 for an adult and $164 for a child. Oh,
crikey! And that, I imagine now, for the 1 day 1 park is supposedly more now than Disney, is that right?
Yeah, Disney is currently $97 for the off-value days and $102 for regular, with $114 for peak days. So,
in fairness to Disney being cheaper, I don't think I'd want to pay $114 to go to MGM Studios.
No, exactly. Even, I don't think I'd want to pay $114 to go to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
I think that it would be literally like Magic Kingdom that I'd pay that for just. But I'd still buy it in advance. I mean, I would even sit on my phone outside the park and buy it online and then walk in and show them that rather than pay that price.
That's true.
Should be interesting because I'm only going over for a day next year to Universal because I'm only going to be there for 3 nights. Or something
what, total?
Yeah.
Blimey, what are you doing?
I'm going out for a run for Run Disney is the plan next November, and I'll be flying out on the Thursday evening and coming home on the Sunday night.
Oh my God!
You're definitely doing that now. Then.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the plan. So I'm going to do my first day at Universal on the Friday.
Yeah.
And literally that will be the only day I go. So it'll be interesting to see what the prices are for UK tickets, whether they've changed.
So will you be out there when the other pool's there?
That's next year I'm going. So
it's
going this year,
isn't
it?
Yeah.
So yeah, but it'll be interesting to see whether they do change the UK prices.
It would be interesting because the Universal piggybacks they do it through a third party in the UK, don't they? It's not technically Universal, although it is, but it's not. So it would be interesting to see whether they do change our passes.
I'd imagine not, though. I mean, if they're saying literally it's just on the gate prices, I can't imagine them. If they do, I can't imagine it to be by much.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like I said, we always go out for longer, apart from Paul, and spend more.
Paul.
This is a one-off. I wouldn't normally do it, but
you're going to be shattered.
Well, the thing is, the jet lag won't even kick in. I'll be getting up at my normal time for the runs because you have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the Walt Disney World runs. So I'm not my body clock's not going to change.
So are you doing the wine and dine run?
Yeah, that's the plan now. I just like going out at that time of the year as well. Just as we're getting into our horrible winter time. Go and get a bit of Florida sun for a couple of days.
So you probably won't be able to see Halloween Horror Nights, will you?
No, that's the thing. I'll probably go out. I'll be out there literally 2 or 3 days after it finishes.
Oh, man.
What a shame.
That is annoying.
But I'll pick up pick up some bargain merchandise afterwards.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's worth buying, because last year they sold out of everything, and it was stuff that was sold during the event, because they had the whole Halloween Horror Nights shop on the corner by Twister.
Yeah.
Stuff was going on eBay for a fortune.
Because when I went out the
even
year
the
before...
Blinky Cups were going for a fortune.
Yeah. I went out the year before. Yeah. I went out the year before, 2014. And by the time we got there, because we went to Universal at the end of our holiday, and we'd gone out the week after Halloween Horror Nights, and they'd literally sold out of everything.
Wow.
So, this time, even if I don't make it to the event, I will be picking some stuff up.
Well, I tried to get my brother a iPhone case that he wanted. I think they were about $10, $7, something like that. And they were like $40 online.
Oh my
god. So, yeah, I ended up getting him one, but couldn't believe the price of it.
It's crazy.
So we'll have to do a show, Paul, where we discuss what you should and shouldn't do in your 3 days, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be definitely our plan.
It sounds a bit like when Craig did his 4 parks 1 day jobby.
Yeah, except I'm doing it the other way round. I'm only going to do a day at Universal and the rest of it a bit at Disney. I'm going to stay on property just because it's easier with the run.
You want as soon as the window opens up, you want to get your boardwalk or your beach club.
Yeah, to be
fair,
room
books.
Seeing as I'm going by myself, I think I'm going to be in a value. I don't think I'm going to get away with anything else.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
are you going to go to both parks on the one day or just one park?
I'll probably do both.
Oh, you are going to be tired.
I managed to do it the last time because we had 2-day tickets last time, but we were flying home on the second day, and we ended up doing everything that we wanted to in the 1 day. That was with a 18-month-old, so we couldn't do all of the big rides. But I think that'll be the plan this time, is that I knuckle down and do all the big rides rather than the smaller things.
You'll get everything done single rider, so it'll be fine.
Wasn't you tempted to do the Marvel run at?
I was. That was the thing, and I tossed it up, and with travelling times and things, because I'm only going out for a few days, I just tossed up that losing that 6 hours in the air is kind of quite a big thing. So I think that's why it's kind of settled on Florida now. Yeah.
So you're gonna do the half and the 10, are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the challenge. So it'll be the double challenge next year, with Paris doing their challenge next year.
I'm tempted to come with you because I've been laying here. I don't know if anyone knows, but I've got a slip disc at the moment, so I haven't been able to do anything. And I've been so tempted to do this, because at the moment all the windows are opening up for this year's runs, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, and it keeps coming up on my emails. You know, this run has opened up. I'm like,
yeah.
Just want to be better.
Yeah, the Castle to Chateau medal's calling to me next year.
Oh, so that's... How did you get that one again?
Run one in Paris and one in the States.
Oh, right.
So I'll end up coming out of doing 4 runs. I think it worked out that I'd come out with 7 medals.
Wow.
That's all right, isn't it?
So that's the plan.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, so shall we move on to our next one? Now, the next news story, I don't know if you want to take this one, Paul.
Yeah.
But the next news story is actually about Universal Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's our only Hollywood story. We just threw it in because it's a little bit related, but yeah, everything else is Orlando, but this is Hollywood.
Yeah, something a part that was always been close to my heart, so it's quite nice to hear some news coming out of it. Yeah, the Walking Dead attraction that's being put in as the replacement for the old horror maze that they used to have is now set to open this summer.
I'm so jealous.
Are you?
Well, no one likes Walking Dead, all right? We'll get that out of the way now. That's the elephant in the room. Nobody likes Walking Dead. But the old House of Horrors was a little bit lame. I'd been through it a few times. It was all right. You know, it was good for a few laughs. But this one's going to have real actors and animatronics.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty cool. I'd go to it if I went to Hollywood. I don't like Walking Dead, but I'd go to it. I'm not crazy excited about it, but I'd go to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say it's the most exciting thing that Universal have announced in the last couple of years, but it is something different. Something we've not really seen before. I think the animatronics could be a completely new step up from what we've seen previously.
Yeah, it does. It kind of. I mean, I would look forward to that. It does worry me slightly because Halloween Horror Nights houses get absolutely trashed every year. I mean, by the end of the run, all the sets are broken, all the props are missing. So I wouldn't want their animatronics to get all beaten up and constantly shut because they're having to replace arms on the zombies and things.
Are they going to make it so that it's kind of like they could change it up to something else? Like, if people start to get a bit over Walking Dead, will it be, like, changeable, do you think?
I don't know. I mean...
That's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
The old House of Horrors wasn't it? That changed a couple of times over the years.
Yeah, I think it had a Van Helsing.
Yeah, it was originally Van Helsing, which I went through. The
first
first time
did?
I went, it was still Van Helsing. And then when I went back the following year, they changed it and just turned it into the Universal Monsters maze, as it was.
Did you still go upstairs when it was Van Helsing?
Yeah, but not a lot of it changed. A lot of the main scene when you walk through, like, you look down over the...
Oh, the gantry, yeah.
That was exactly the same.
Oh, right.
That didn't change at all. That was still a prop from Van Helsing.
Oh, I see.
So they didn't really do a lot to change it up, other than what was in there.
No.
So like they changed it because it was Frankenstein and Wolfman and everybody in there, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
But previous to that, it was Van Helsing.
I mean, I know they've used it actually for Halloween Horror Nights as well.
Yeah, we went through a maze. It was Wolfman, in fact, and it was the Benicio del Toro. That's where it was. And in fact, it was an annual pass holders got into that maze early.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, which I was an annual pass holder at the time.
Oh,
so we actually got in it before the park had actually opened.
Funny enough, that film is not my favourite film, but that's one of my favourite houses at Orlando when they done it.
Yeah, it was my wife's favourite as well.
Yeah, about 2009, I think it was, wasn't it?
A bit later than that. I think it was 2011.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the year after I got married. We went back because we went to LA for our honeymoon and then went back the following year for Halloween Horror Nights. And yeah, it was 2011.
Yeah, they often move the ideas around and send the props between coasts, don't they?
Yeah.
So, oh no, that was good. Yeah. But no, I mean that'd be nice to see. I mean, the only other good thing is it's actually being made in cooperation with all the people that work on the actual TV show.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty. Yeah, it's going to be pretty authentic.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'm assuming John Murdy's had a lot to do with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's been the main guy at the conventions doing all the talking about it. So.
It does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I don't know how long The Walking Dead's going to be a thing. Ratings seem to suggest it's doing well, but it can't last forever, can it?
No, and then of course you got the spin-off as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen the spin-off yet.
No, I've not seen any of the spin-off, and they were talking about they were talking about spinning that off as well.
A spin-off from the spin-off.
Yeah, but I don't know how true that is.
That's as ridiculous as having a premium event inside Mickey's Not So Scary, a premium event.
Yeah.
Which Disney does. Cool. Okay. Well, next news item that we had on the list was Kong and the Incredible Hulk coming soon. They're both being tested, I believe, at the moment with test dummies or Universal employees, as they're called. And they're both meant to reopen this summer, possibly in July.
Yeah, I saw
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, there's a chance they're going to open on the same day.
Really?
Yeah. Was what I was reading earlier today.
But is Kong going to be any good?
I think it is, you know.
Do you remember the original?
The original was awesome. Like, that's one of my all-time favourite rides. I absolutely loved it. I know that it's going to be nothing like it. It's going to be totally different. But I'm still really excited to see how they do it.
Mm.
As long as the animatronic burps bananas, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, obviously.
See, the thing is, I've done the one in Hollywood, which I know is just part of the tour, and it's a bit unmemorable. It's not really. It's not great. I mean, the Fast and Furious thing was absolutely terrible.
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, it's shockingly bad, and I'm really not looking forward to it.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was horrendous. The graphics are terrible. The effects were rubbish. The humour was non-existent. Oh, it was shocking. But Kong wasn't too bad. But it was just loads and loads of 3D screens, and it wasn't really, like the old Kong. You had the animatronic, and you dropped, and then you went up, and you went around this really detailed New York skyline with people in the windows watching TV and stuff. That was really interesting and authentic. But with the Kong in Hollywood, I know it's just part of the tour again, but it was literally just some screens in a big warehouse.
I'm hoping that it's not going to be all screens in this one. I'm hoping that there's going to be like a good mixture. But I just don't know. I'm excited to just see it, and I'm determined to not watch any YouTube videos on it or anything like that. I want it to be a total surprise. So no spoilers.
No spoilers. Well, do we know for sure there's going to be an animatronic Kong?
I believe he's already in there.
Because they've shown some videos, but it's not really clear, is it?
No, it's not, but I think people have said that there's definitely one in there. Because I'm sure they've said he's like 3 stories high.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm so sure that I saw a picture today or yesterday of it, and it's got like scars all over his face. I'm positive that I saw a picture of an animatronic.
Well, if we get that, then that will be something special, won't it? I think
it's going to be a really, really, really good ride. I'm really, really excited about it.
Yeah.
What I've heard is that some people have been banned from the park for taking pictures over the wall.
You're kidding.
No, I saw it was all over Twitter yesterday. People, because all YouTube vloggers were going around, they were just like lifting their arm up and filming like what was behind the wall and stuff. And then people were like, no, you can't do that. And then it all kicked off saying that loads of people have been banned for it. Because on Twitter all last week and the week before, people were posting photos like, that's it, the walls are down, everyone go because it's going to be a soft opening. And then it wasn't. Someone just took a photo of the wall. And apparently it like makes people lose their jobs. It's like a serious thing, so Universal are taking it super seriously.
That's interesting.
Don't take photos over the wall, you'll get banned.
That's interesting, because I know they got, obviously it's private property, so if they want to ban you, they can. But it does sound a little bit, what's the word? A bit over the top, doesn't it?
Yeah. I guess they're just sick of it.
Yeah. Whereas with the Hulk, you can't help but take photos of that, because that's right where it is, isn't it?
Exactly.
Do you think that's going to change much, the Hulk?
Well, it sounds quieter.
So the sound is definitely different then?
Yeah, like it doesn't roar anymore, and then, I don't know the ins and outs of like roller coaster design, but people were saying that it made that noise, like it wasn't supposed to make that noise ever.
Oh.
So they fixed it, and it doesn't make the noise anymore, and people are really angry about it.
Oh, that's interesting.
They want to hear the roar.
As it, from photos you've seen, is it going to follow the exact same path as the old one?
It looks like it. In the videos, it looks like it.
Yeah.
I think the major changes is the storyline, from what I can work out. That it doesn't really involve the Hulk anymore. It's kind of putting you in the place of the Hulk.
Say what?
Yeah, basically, you're like going into a government facility.
Right.
And General Ross is basically testing out serums. And basically he's turning you into the Hulk, or into a version of the Hulk in their storyline, rather than actually including the Hulk.
Do you reckon Disney was being really anal about what they could and couldn't do?
I've got a feeling Universal have probably gone to them and gone, we want to use the current Hulk, and they've gone, yeah, that's not happening.
That sounds likely.
So the interesting thing is what they're going to do with the whole of Superhero Island now. Because
Yeah.
they're going to have to do something to upgrade everything. Otherwise, it's gonna look it's gonna look a bit poor compared to the Hulk.
Exactly. But, like, what would they do next?
There was talk that they just want to make it less comic book looking, and make it more real life looking.
Don't get rid of the music.
No, that'd be a big shame if they do. The talk that I was hearing on another podcast today was that they could look at changing the internal look of Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
So it doesn't look like a comic book newspaper office, but more like a real office. So
it is a bit tired, the queue, isn't it? It's a bit worn out.
They're still using that 90s looking cartoon, aren't they?
Yes.
Which is quite clearly not what Disney want.
No.
And obviously Disney do have the overruling power to tell them what to do.
It's a very interesting dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, on the one hand, Disney wants them to mess up because they don't want people there. But then on the other hand, they don't want to downgrade their own property, do they?
No, exactly.
Especially since they've spent a fortune, you know, wooing the Spider-Man over from Sony.
Yeah.
I feel like if they just gave it a bit of a tidy up and just gave it a bit of a refresh, it'd look fine.
I felt it was tired when I was over, 18 months ago. That it was starting to feel very tired. So it definitely does need something doing to it.
It's interesting they didn't upgrade the queue when they refurbed the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Because, you know, it was down for quite a while, wasn't it? I would have thought, so.
It was down quite a lot when I was there in September. And the year before as well, it's down quite a lot.
I got one. I love Spider-Man the ride. I got one complaint about it, and this was last year. I stayed in the Hard Rock so I could get my fast pass, and I used it on the Spider-Man. And the blinking queue for the fast passes was longer than the standby. Can you believe it?
Me and my sister did a test last year because I obviously had the fast passes too because I was in Hard Rock. She stayed in Cabana Bay. So we did a test on Transformers to see who'd get on quicker, her and Single Rider or me and Fast Pass. And she got on way faster than me. Her and her boyfriend went through Single Rides together. They sat together and I was like 3 cars behind.
Oh.
By myself.
Crikey. How did you like, or how did she like Cabana Bay?
She loved it. She's staying there again this year.
Oh, right.
She absolutely loved it.
Did you visit her over there, or?
Yeah, quite a few times. I loved the food court that they had because I am a picky eater. And they had pretty much everything that you could want. They even had like a little s'mores kit. So you got a stick with marshmallows and the crackers and chocolate. And they had a little fire pit so you could go and make your own s'mores.
Oh, wow.
It's a lovely little hotel. Well worth it to stay there.
They got a lazy river, haven't they, as well?
Yeah. The pool's really cute there. She spent a lot of time in the Hard Rock pool with me instead. But just because we were going in the pool at the night time, really.
Yeah.
But she absolutely loved it. She said that she'll stay there all the time now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she absolutely loves it. The only thing that she didn't really like was she didn't like the walk from there to Universal.
Oh.
Because it's like on a busy road.
I'll tell you a funny story about that. I was with my partner in City Walk, and I said to her, what should we do for the evening? I said, well, why don't we go and look at Cabana Bay? So she's all right, let's walk there, walk our dinner off, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So we eventually found the sign where to go to Cabana Bay because it's hard to find, isn't it?
Yeah.
The walkway. You then go all the way down this pathway that goes zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Then it goes down towards the main road. It follows the main road along. And then you got this steep embankment and over a bridge. Honestly, it's so long. And then got all the way down there to the gates, and they're locked.
Yeah, you need a key.
And you need a key. Oh,
That's so funny.
I had to walk all the way back again.
Oh, what? Well, she made me walk there one afternoon, and I think it took about 15 or 20 minutes, but it felt like an hour because it's so hot.
Yeah.
And we got the bus back.
Yeah.
The bus took 2 minutes.
That would have been the better idea.
Yes, but obviously you couldn't get into it because you couldn't get in the gate.
No, that's it. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, on a map, it's probably only a stone's throw.
Yeah.
But it just went on and on for ages, that walk.
Exactly. Well, she tweeted Lowe's Hotels last week to ask if they were going to build a bridge between Sapphire Falls and Cabana Bay, because she was like, Amanda, I am not crossing that busy road to get to your hotel in the mornings. And they said that it's just going to be the same walkway as is to get to the park. So she's not happy.
Oh. So what would you have to do? Go all the way back towards the other hotel and then back on yourself?
You're just going to have to walk around, like, to the bridge bit.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll cut out all the big massive bit, like going towards Universal, but she'll just go over the bridge bit, I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it won't be too bad, but if they just built like a little thing over that busy road, she'd be there in 2 minutes.
Well, it took them a while to build that bridge, didn't it? That didn't open with the resort, did it?
No, exactly. But, I mean, they're still building stuff on Cabana Bay now, so they could build a thing in the future, but who knows?
Well, I know it's jumping ahead, but one of our other news stories was about the zoning for the 470-odd acres that they've bought, which you'd never be able to walk that. I mean, that's at least a good 4 or 5 miles away. So, I memean, long term, they've got a bit of a problem, haven't they? If they're going to expand, they're going to have to put in all sorts of buses and, well, just have to be buses. I can't think they can do it any other way.
No, exactly. I'm really glad that Sapphire Falls is going to have the water taxi.
Oh, it's going to... Oh, right. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so... Because I would not be doing that walk. I'm really glad about that. But, yeah, if they're going to expand more, they are going to have to use more buses, like Cabana Bay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't suppose the city of Orlando let them put monorails in.
Doubt it. That would be good.
Well, they're meant to be really expensive, aren't they? Monorails to build?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, it seems like it. Disney tried to keep the minimum amount possible.
Yeah.
From what I can tell.
But, I mean, Alton Towers has got one, so...
And it put North Haverbrook on the map. Was it North Haverbrook? I think it was, wasn't it?
And Springfield. And
Springfield, yeah. That's when you need Nick, because he knows all these references like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that zoning that they're getting approval for, which is all the plots they've bought, does say new park or parks, plural, hotels, resorts, and shopping.
Where is this area though? Like where?
Well, I had a quick look on a map. Well, I say a map, Google Earth. And basically, if you come out of Universal, go past Wet and Wild, and you don't go down International Drive, you follow this road called Universal Boulevard, and it basically runs parallel with Universal Drive. Yeah, Universal Drive. International Drive. Sorry. And then it kind of goes down and loops around a bit, and then it joins a road that joins onto the turnpike. But basically, this big plot of land seems to be all of the land behind the convention centre.
I was just going to say, is that near the convention centre then?
Yeah.
I've been down there.
Uh-huh.
The last time, in fact, we stayed at one of the preferred hotels for Universal.
Oh, yeah.
For a couple of nights the last time we went, just on the end, so we got the early entry to the parks. And we got on the shuttle bus from our hotel, but it went to one of the convention hotels.
Uh-huh.
And there's so much land along there that was just empty.
Oh, right.
So I'm quite sure that was what it is what they bought.
Yeah, I think it is, from what I've seen.
It was completely empty along there.
I used to stay at the Hampton Inn near the convention centre. That's on Universal Boulevard, and there is an awful lot of land there. So that's where I'm thinking. That's where I'm picturing when you're saying it.
Yeah, that's definitely it. I know they've bought other little tiny parcels here, there, everywhere, but that's their biggest plot of land as one.
That's pretty far away, though, really.
It's not close. I mean, it doesn't join onto it by any stretch.
Yeah. And the fact that they have to go through land that they don't own to get between the two parks is going to be interesting.
I also counted that if they enter and exit the property to the other side of the convention centre, there's about 7 traffic lights.
Oh, God.
So at the moment, there's no traffic. It says it's a 10-minute drive. You put 7 traffic lights with traffic and a little minor incident or something, it could be a bit of a trek.
Yeah. I think that will be quite hard to get to and from.
But the rumour is that they're looking to build a theme park that's more kid-orientated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they've got this Nintendo deal now. And they haven't done anything with it just yet. So whether or not we get our Mario Kart roller coaster or something like that, I don't know.
I'm kind of hoping that no Nintendo stuff goes into Universal Studios. Like, as it is now.
Yeah.
I just don't think that I'd enjoy that. So, but if it's going to go into a completely different park, that's fine by me.
Well, the other thing as well they bought last month was DreamWorks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, DreamWorks, before they sold to Universal, they themselves was buying up loads of small little studios that had the rights to all different types of characters. So Universal has kind of bought a huge number of characters from that deal. So you could see any of them go in there as well.
Is Madagascar DreamWorks?
Yes.
That could be a cool little area for kids.
Well, they've already got one in Asia, haven't they?
Yes.
In one of the Universal parks out there.
That's right, because the ride doesn't work. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember whether it's Japan or Singapore, possibly.
Yeah.
But they've definitely got a Madagascar area.
Isn't it like a log flume with a lift, and the lift doesn't work or something?
I think so.
Something like that.
Because I know there was a big thing when that. I'm sure Singapore's the newest one, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm sure it's there because they had a parade as well when it first opened.
Yeah.
That was Madagascar.
Be interesting. The other rumour as well was they were going to possibly be building a land dedicated to Shrek.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. Which, when you consider he's got his own attraction already.
You know what, though? I kind of heard that when they just started building the Orlando Eye and Madame Tussauds and stuff like that. I'd heard that they were going to do a Shrek thing there, like in that area.
Oh.
It wouldn't surprise me because we've got one here, haven't we?
That's right, in London. That's
owned by Merlin, which is obviously the same as Madame Tussauds and the Eye and everything. So that possibly is part of the plan, but it's whether Universal now let them.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I suppose. Yeah, they're the boss now, aren't they? I suppose.
Yeah.
Have you been on the Orlando Eye?
I haven't been on it yet. No.
No, it was still being built when I was there.
Oh, it's all right. It's nice to do in the night time.
Is it as big as the London one?
I haven't been in the London one, so I don't know.
Right.
Not sure. I've got a feeling it's slightly smaller, and it never seems to be open. A lot of people. No, the Orlando one. A lot of people said
really?
it's hardly ever open.
Oh, it was open last year when we went. My sister got free tickets in with her park tickets for all of that area. I had to pay for mine, but it was only about £40 for the tickets. And we got entrance to the Eye and entrance to Madame Tussauds. And it was nice to do just in the night time. It's very good. I probably wouldn't do it in the day.
Does that include the Sea Life Centre and everything else?
You could pay extra to the Sea Life Centre. I think it's like £40 to buy it off like a UK ticket thing, and you could pick 2 to do.
All right.
But I think the Sea Life Centre closed at about 7 o'clock, and I think we went about 8:30 or 9.
It's funny that when you go, and I know English people that go to America, go in Walmart and see, I don't know, a Cadbury's whole nut and go, oh, I'm going to buy this Cadbury's whole nut. You know, it's $5, 60p or 40p over here. It's the same thing with Sea Life Centre. Nobody goes to Sea Life Centres in the UK, but all the English people are going to Sea Life Centres in America.
No, I wouldn't go to it. I went to the one in Scarborough, last year, and that was so expensive.
Was it?
Yeah, and there's nothing in there.
I haven't been
so
in one.
Don't go there now.
2 years ago was the last time I went in a Sea Life Centre. We took my son for his first birthday in Birmingham.
Birmingham Sea Life Centre?
Yeah.
Do you reckon they'll have Tillicum soon?
Oh.
Seawell's like, well, we don't want him anymore. You can have him.
Don't you start, you'll have Peter on you now.
Yeah. I remember going to a Sea Life Centre in Brighton and they had actual dolphins jumping around doing shows in there.
What?
That was a very long time ago.
I remember going to Windsor Safari Park and they had killer whales.
Did they?
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Many a moon ago.
I think the hippos are still at Longleat, though. I think they've still got them.
Yeah.
In their big lake. But, okay, cool. All right, so the next one we got is Halloween Horror Nights. Do you want to attempt this one, Amanda?
Yes, so we've had 2 announcements so far. So we've got Texas Chainsaw Massacre and we have The Exorcist. So we're wondering how they are going to do The Exorcist, which is effectively done in one room, really, and make that into a whole house. I think it's going to be interesting. Like, I just can't. Usually, if they mention a house, I can kind of picture how it's going to be.
Yeah.
I can't with this one. I have no idea. And plus, I've only just watched The Exorcist for the first time last month.
Right.
I'd never watched it. I was totally banned from watching it when I was younger.
Fair enough. Did you watch it because of the announcement?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was like, look, Mum, Nan, sorry, Halloween Horror Nights making me do it. So I watched it, and then I was like, how are they going to do this? I don't understand.
I think the film was banned in the UK for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Well, my nana went to watch it when it came out, and it traumatised her.
Oh, I bet.
Absolutely traumatised her. So she banned my mum from watching it, and then they both banned me. And I guess I was just being too nice to them, so I didn't watch it. I wasn't, like, scared of it. It wasn't a scary film, I don't think. It was just weird. I could see, like, why it would be banned, because it was pretty naughty. But I'm really, really curious to see how they're going to do it as a house.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because when they did Halloween a few years ago, that was a bit... it all seemed to happen in the same house, that one as well. But with this, it's the same room, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I know that I've spoken to a couple of people who have built those puppets over the years. You know, like the werewolf puppets and things. And I know they're working on this house. So
I imagine there'd have to be like a lot of puppets.
I mean,
like coming down the stairs.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a really iconic part of the film, so they've got to do that somehow.
Do you think they're going to build the steps outside as well?
I don't know.
I don't imagine that they'd have to.
I don't know. I mean, the facade is going to be just like it's got to be, isn't it? Just like the poster.
Yeah, you would imagine so.
And although I think I'm right in saying, I haven't seen it for a long time, but doesn't the film start in Iraq or somewhere?
Yeah, I put a video up on my YouTube about me watching Exorcist for the first time, and a guy commented on it yesterday saying, that's weird, why does it sound like it's the Muslim call to prayer at the beginning of your video?
Oh.
Like, I don't know. But apparently it is. I asked my friend and it actually is, and I was like, well, it starts in Iraq, so that's the only reason I could think it would be on there. But when I put it on, I was like, am I watching the right film?
Well, the prequel was completely set out there, wasn't it?
I haven't seen it, I've only just seen this one.
The prequel's awful.
Really?
It's absolutely dreadful. You really don't need to see it.
I think someone told me to watch. Is there a third one?
Yeah.
Someone told me that's the better one.
I don't think I've seen the sequel. The prequel's dreadful, though.
I've only seen the original, and that was a long time ago.
Well, I'm fresh on it, and I'm really like, how?
Are you excited for it or curious how they're going to do it?
Curious, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'm curious.
I guess excited excited as well, but I'm just kind of like, I just don't know how they're going to do it.
Well, the thing is, speaking to Julie Zimmerman, who created the whole event, I've been speaking to her on and off nearly every day for the last few weeks.
Besties.
Yeah, we're like besties now. And she was saying that from the very beginning they wanted to do this house.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And they got in trouble quite a lot because they would have girl on bed with green paint, and pushing her around the park and things, and executives from whichever studio it is would write in and say, is it true that you've got one of our characters in your theme park that you're not paying a license for? And they just used to blag it and go, oh, I don't know what you're on about. Pre-internet days, you can get away with it, I suppose. But
can't go with anything now.
Well, that's it. It does beg the question, though, as interesting as it would be to have that property, is how they're actually going to do it. Because sometimes with Halloween Horror Nights in the past, like, for example, if you take, like when they've done the Psycho film, and they've done that into a house, it sort of starts off like Psycho, and then it goes into Norman Bates' mind, and it's all a bit weird and wonderful, but it's nothing like the film.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'll do that or not,
I just have no clue what they're going to do. Like, honestly, this has just been baffling me since they announced it. I just have no clue. I'm really excited to go into it, though. I think that's probably going to be the first house that I do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be in a soundstage as well, so it'll be right there at the front.
Yeah, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre is going to be in a tent, they've said.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised they chose to put that in one of the tents.
Yeah, I you know what? I like the tents because I feel like they're a bit more compact. And I feel a bit more scared because it's so small.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit closer to all the scares, so I like it. But then I saw someone saying, oh, they can't use real chainsaws because it's in a tent. But which house was it last year that was in a tent and they had fake chainsaws?
Purge, I think it was.
I don't think I realised the difference.
Yeah, I don't know the difference really. I suppose it's just sound effects.
Chains in.
Yeah, exactly. It's just sound effects, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it makes that big of a difference, really.
Well, the interesting thing about it is the 2007 house, I remember quite vividly because it was in the earthquake queue and it used almost the whole queue because it had lots of spaces where you could run.
All right.
And there was, the bit, I don't know if it was in the original film or if it was in the remake, but the house was the remake and it had this bit where there was loads of washing lines with loads of white linen.
Yeah.
And they had that scene, and it was this massive area, and all night long, this Leatherface dude, I mean, he was about 6'6", probably about 25 stone, just running up and down, up and down, up and down all night long.
I bet he was shattered.
Oh, I bet he was. I mean, I know.
45 minutes must have felt like 45 hours.
Yeah. But there was a lot of that in it. There's a lot of running. So with the tents. They have to be very compact, so they're a bit more intimate. They're a bit more in your face.
Yeah. Plus, I can't really imagine him running all that fast.
No, he didn't really. Sort of zipped around a bit, but.
So I did that one at Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
and that was down on the lower lot. That was behind the Mummy.
Oh yeah,
in the soundstage there, and that was quite. I found them quite imposing because of how close they were. So I think that must have been more compact in there. Though they had that same scene, I think there was a lot less room, like it was very narrow and he'd kind of slink along the wall and then come out at you rather than the running up and down. So I wonder whether that might be how they do it. The character himself is very imposing when they put him in situations like that. As you said, 6'5", 25 stone. You're not going to mess.
No. But the year they had the same year as that in 2007 when they had the Jason house, that was in the old Jaws queue, and they were really in your face because that was quite a tight building as well. So I imagine they're going to go for that kind of layout. But it's going to be the original film, which I haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a long time. That's next on my list to rewatch.
Have you seen it, Paul?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Does it have the extended family in it, or is it just Leatherface in that one?
Oh, I can't remember. As I said, it has been a long time since I've seen any of those. Other than I tend to see Nightmare on Elm Street quite regularly, but
yeah,
out of the three, that's it. It seems to be Freddy that I see more often than the other two.
mm. Yeah, because it's quite interesting that two, what are they, 70s, 80s movies have been announced.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to lead down the path of the Usher being the icon.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Amanda's thinking for this year.
All right.
I loved him last year.
Yeah, it was so cool last year. So cool. And I didn't go to Halloween Horror Nights the year that he was the icon, so I'd be mega excited if it was him this year.
Well, the actor that plays him is back working at Universal, I believe.
What a coinky-dink.
So, you never know. He could be.
I think that's how it's going to go, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Halloween again.
Well, this is a rumour that's just started recently about Halloween coming back. That's quite interesting. What other rumours have there been?
People are saying Krampus. I haven't seen Krampus yet.
Ah, right. I watched it yesterday.
Is it rubbish?
It's not rubbish. It's not rubbish, but when you watch it, you're like, yeah, this is definitely a house for Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, really?
It's like it was made for Halloween Horror Nights.
People seem pretty convinced that it's coming.
Hollywood used it last year, didn't they, for a scare zone?
Well, they did and they didn't. They did use the name, but I don't remember it being anything related to what I saw yesterday, if that makes sense.
Oh, really?
It seemed to be like their own version of Krampus, but I don't know.
So really, I should watch it because it probably is going to be.
I mean, to be honest with you, it did feel a lot like one of the old Gremlins films or something. It had a lot of humour in it as well as a lot of scares, but it wasn't overly scary. I mean, I suppose they could kind of make it into a comedy house if they really wanted to ramp up the laughs. But it's an enjoyable film. I wouldn't say it's the best horror film in the world, but I would say it looks as though it was definitely made for Halloween Horror Nights.
I'd probably rather see something like that, like a comedy one, than see something like a 3D one or like Alice last year. I wasn't really into that.
No, I am not a fan of the 3D ones.
No, so I probably would rather see like a comedy one like that than another one like Alice. But Penn and Teller is another rumour. Like, would that be a house or a show?
Well, I don't know which good-looking bloke started that rumour. I really don't. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of people have said to me that Universal are spending so much time over in Vegas at a hotel called the Rio, which just happens to have Penn and Teller out there every night, that it might be something long-term, like it might be a show for the new theme park. It might not be a house for Halloween Horror Nights, because Universal seem to be going out there a hell of a lot.
It's an interesting rumour, and I've seen Mike Aiello going to Vegas a bit. I saw his tweets from there. And if that's linked in, then who knows?
Well, one of the readers to my blog, he sent me. I haven't posted it, but he sent me this link, this sort of this for want of a better word, stalking that he'd been doing of all these different people that work for Universal. And he gave me this big list of all these people that he'd seen on their social media. I mean, he wasn't doing anything illegal. It was just social media and Twitters and Facebooks and things. And saying, look, this guy was here for that duration. This person was there for that.
Oh, wow.
So, he was saying to me, there's so many executives and designers and things going over there. Possibly it's for something a bit more long-term than Halloween Horror Nights.
That's something to see.
Don't know. I believe in America right now, Penn and Teller are sort of hot properties, aren't they?
Well, they've got a new show here, haven't they?
Yeah, the one with Jonathan Ross.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've heard about it, I haven't seen it.
Have you seen anything about them, Paul?
Not really, other than obviously the well-known stuff like the show in Vegas and everything. It's kind of not been something I've really taken a lot of note of. Other than, of course, they had the maze a few years ago, didn't they?
They did do, yeah.
Was that any good? I didn't go to that.
I went through it once, and they were actually inside the maze.
What? Like real Penn and
Yeah, the
Teller?
actual Penn and Teller. That what they did was they were doing their show in Vegas, I think, Thursday to was it Friday to Wednesday or something, and then Wednesdays and Thursdays they were in their maze, something like that. But they basically odd evenings when they wasn't doing their show, Universal flew them out, and they was actually in their maze.
What? Wasn't it a 3D one as well?
Yeah, it was. It was a bit distracting actually, the 3D element.
Was it?
It didn't need to be 3D. But yeah, no, it was. Some people moaned about it just because there was no kind of like major storyline to it, but it was just one of those funny, comical kind of gross kind of houses. It didn't really need much of a story.
Did they do magic tricks?
No, there was just them standing at the end, sort of waving and cheering at people because it happened so quickly. You're like, hang on a minute, was that the actual Penn and Teller, or was that just two lookalikes?
I wouldn't even know the difference, probably.
The thing is, you've got the stupid glasses on, which don't allow you to see very well anyway. You're then pushed through the house in a giant conga line really quickly, and you're like, hang on, was that them or was that not them? You know, you can't stop and say hello or have a photo or anything. So,
God. Well, another rumour is The Purge 3.
Is that out yet, that one?
I don't know.
No, I think it's due out shortly.
Yeah.
It'll be Independence Day, won't it, this year?
Oh, of course.
It'll be due out.
Yeah.
It's the same cast again, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think all just the same.
Yeah, Frank Grillo's back again. I know that. So I assume it's going to be the majority of the cast from the last one.
I feel like I didn't mind the Purge scare zone. I thought that was pretty cool. And I know that the Purge house last year was like a last minute thing.
Yeah.
But I think if it's going to be there, I'd probably prefer that it as a scare zone.
It's sort of been done, hasn't it, really?
Yeah. Like, I'd prefer something new, really.
The scare zone was like one of the first times where they sort of had sort of sideshows happening inside the scare zone, wasn't it?
I thought it was a pretty cool scare zone. I've never seen The Purge, any of the films, but I understood what was going on, so I liked it. Plus, the year before that, it was the whole park was Walking Dead, so at that point I was like, I'll have anything. Anything that's not Walking Dead, I'm happy with.
I forgot that. Crikey.
Honestly, that was the first time that I took my boyfriend, and I was like, oh, Josh, Halloween Horror Nights is amazing. They have all these different scare zones. You're going to love it. And then it was all Walking Dead, and I was like, sorry. I promise it's better than this.
I thought the scare zones last year were great.
Yeah, they're amazing last year. Amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean they were just everything last year was just a hit, wasn't it?
Yeah. So how are they going to top it this year? Because honestly, last year and probably 2006, like my two all-time favourite years.
Yeah, I mean 2000. So 20 HHN 25 definitely for me, and for a lot of people was either their number one or their number 2 year, definitely.
Exactly, everything was awesome.
Yeah.
I think we went every single night that our frequent Fiat would let us go because we loved it so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, loved it. And I paid for express passes almost every time.
Did you?
Yeah, so I was really poor by the end of the holiday, but I had to because it was so busy.
It was. I think the receipts for last year for them was absolutely staggering for the money they took.
Yeah, I think they must have made an awful lot of money.
It
was amazing. Every single night and every single time I went through the houses was really good. Like I couldn't fault anything from last year.
Even The Walking Dead was good last year.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that house last year, even though I had no idea what was going on. I still really enjoyed it.
I went to Hollywood last year as well, and the Hollywood Walking Dead was almost identical in terms of the layout and everything, but it was much more gorier in Hollywood.
Was it?
Yeah, they use a lot more blood and guts and stuff over there.
Wow. What other rumours has anyone heard?
What, the other rumours?
Yeah, like I haven't really heard much coming from people lately.
There's this list going around the internet. Have you heard of this list?
No.
All right.
I think so.
let me bring the list up. There's this list of clues that I'm not sure where they come from, but so they've got basically. I'll do the list for you. So number 1 and 2 we know, Exorcist and TCM. Number 3, the clue is the return. Number 4 is the expected. Number 5 is the returning. It's a plural, so maybe, don't know. 6 is the 6 is the requel, which is this word that Mike Aiello's been using lately. Yeah. 7 is a claustrophobic duel. 8 is the unknown, and then 9 is the big reveal.
All right. Did you see the last pictures that Mike Aiello put up? It was probably about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I felt like that looked like a tomb of some kind, like the mummy.
What, the drawing of the render?
No, it was a picture of a set. I don't know. It was about 2 weeks ago now, I think.
Oh, of them building the set, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. I haven't got that in front of me, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it did look pretty tight, didn't it?
Yeah, I felt like the bricks and stuff reminded me of like a pyramid.
Oh.
Possibility of the new mummy?
Well, that's being filmed over here at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that was the impression that I got, and I sent the picture to my sister straight away, and I was like, I think, because we always have a little thing every year where like we try and guess it before each other, and I was like, I'm just saying, before you try and guess it, I think this is going to be some kind of tomb, like Egyptian or something. That's my guess.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Do you feel the same?
It's stonework, isn't it? It does look like... It's got alcoves as well, which is what they had when they did that Gothic house. It does look a bit like the mummy house that they had years ago as well. But would they be doing a mummy house if they've got the mummy coming out next year?
I don't know. I mean, it might not be a mummy house. It might be something like... I don't even know, like a catacombs kind of thing. I just kind of got the impression that it looked like some kind of tomb.
It does look a bit like Gothic, but they've done that to death, haven't they, that Gothic?
I like Gothic houses, so they're my favourite.
Yeah. It says that this house is the Cobweb house as well. Cobweb is the working title for the house.
Well, there's cobwebs and tombs.
There is. There is.
I'm sticking by my guess because I know if I change my mind on it, Ash is going to be like, I said that. But I haven't heard anything else. Like, I feel like it's been a really long time since they made the last announcement.
Well, yeah, Logan and I, we were taking bets on when the next announcement was going to be because they have a habit of announcing things just after we've released our blinking podcast.
Yeah, I heard on the podcast yesterday.
Yeah. So we were, because the funny thing is Scott on the podcast, he's actually in real life really good friends with Mike Aiello.
Is he?
They go to barbecues and their kids go to school together and all sorts. And it's like, hang on a minute, Scott, why the hell don't you know what it is?
I know.
Get him drunk.
I was just going to say that. Get him drunk at the barbecue and ask him questions.
Exactly. Get him drunk. Find out what the houses are. Steal his phone. It'll have all that on there.
Oh, my God.
I'm not condemning stealing anybody's phone, just so everyone...
Like, if you're Scotty too hotty, it's all right.
Yeah, he'd just ask for it. Give me your phone.
Oh, that's so funny.
But I don't know. But after seeing Krampus, I've got to say, I'd really look forward to a house. So I know it's a rumour, it's a strong rumour, but if they could, that would be great.
Honestly, any announcement that they make, I'm going to be happy with now because I feel like I've just waited for a long time.
Yeah. You had two really quickly, and now it had a big gap.
I was convinced that we were going to get one on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. I was talking to one of my new Facebook friends, Bradley, and I was like, it's going to be tonight, Brad, 100%.
And then it never happened.
And then it wasn't.
That's annoying. Okay, Paul, what's our last news story then?
The last one is the new restaurant at City Walk, Twosome Chocolate Emporium, as it's now known, having had to change its name. We can take a guess why they had to change the name.
Why did they?
Because it was originally called Chocolate Factory. And I would imagine one of the other movie studios might have had an issue with the name.
Oh, okay. My mind was in the gutter. You mean Willy Wonka?
Well, yeah.
Right. Okay.
We have to fill in for Craig at some point, don't we? But, yeah.
What else do you know about it there?
I don't think there's a lot that we know about, other than the fact that it's going to be like a working factory by the sound of it, with cogs and chimney steams and things like that. Obviously, it's replacing NBA.
Oh yeah, that's never had any business there, is it?
No. They're getting along quite well from what I've seen on some videos and things. It's the build's progressing fairly quickly.
Didn't they put a casting call out?
Yeah.
For some characters.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure I don't think we actually saw what they were looking for, did we? They just
yeah, I saw it today.
Was it? I hadn't seen it today.
They're looking for a girl called Penelope, I think it was. Penelope Toothsome. And they're looking for someone British.
Oh.
5'7".
Oh, too tall.
And she is going to play a character that's like travelled all around the world to find all this stuff out about chocolate. And it's going to be like she's like one of the owners of the factory. I guess, or maybe like the factory owner's daughter, and they're looking for another character called Jock, I think it was, who's a robot, and that's going to be her sidekick.
Oh, do you think this is going to be a bit like the Adventurers Club?
I'd imagine so.
It sounds very much like they're going down the lines of what they're doing at Disney Springs and being very themed.
Mm-hmm.
Very themed. But why do you think that they didn't just pay the fee and call it Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory?
Well, the rumours that I've been reading is that they're very much trying to turn City Walk into their own properties.
Okay.
That quite a few of the shops are going to disappear, like Element and places like that, and be themed to their own stuff rather than outside sources.
All right.
It looks like it's going to be pretty cool, though.
It kind of reminds me of like the Cheesecake Factory on acid or something. Because that does everything, and then it does 200 different cheesecakes.
Yeah.
So this place kind of looks a bit like that. It does everything, and then it does all this chocolate stuff as well.
I'm really liking the steampunk theme as well. I think Universal's really into that right now, aren't they?
Oh, they love a bit of steam.
Yeah. I think everyone's into it right now. I was watching some things on MegaCon yesterday, and there's loads of steampunk people.
Yeah.
It's just a big thing right now.
Didn't you go to a convention recently, Paul?
I did. I didn't see much of it, to be honest.
Didn't you?
No, I was kind of in the autograph queues, and that was as far as I got. So I didn't see much cosplay going on of any kind, really.
Oh, no.
It was a bit of a nightmare because I went Sunday and had to drive back from London to Nottingham that day as well. So it was a case of get what I want, get out and get home. So I didn't really. If I'd have gone on Saturday, I might have stayed a bit longer, but because it was Sunday, I didn't.
Oh, no. It looks cool, though. I'm excited to see what they do with it.
It's surprising, really, that Universal doesn't apart from Harry Potter, have more conventions connected to what they do.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah, obviously Disney have their one every couple of years, don't they?
Oh,
D23.
D23, yeah.
So it is a surprise that
I'd 100%
Universal...
go to a Universal one. Definitely.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because Universal now is starting to become a big rival to Disney in every way, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're on the same league just yet, but they're getting there, aren't they?
Definitely. I think a lot of people would go to one.
Yeah.
They could have Back to the Future stuff. They could have stuff from the old rides.
Well, it's funny you should mention Back to the Future because I was told that today is the last day of the last remaining Back to the Future attraction.
Yeah, that really upset me. I was heartbroken.
That's quite sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
End
It's
of
like
an
the
era.
end of an era.
Yeah.
Oh, jinx.
Yeah.
Is Jaws still going over in Japan?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm not sure.
No, I don't think.
But if they brought Kong back, will they bring back Jaws, do you think?
I'd love it. I'd love it if they do, like the one in Hollywood, the tram thing.
Mm.
I'd love it if they had that, yeah.
Well, Jaws was my favourite ride.
100%.
And
I love Jaws so much.
And when I first went on Diagon Alley, I was like, really? You replaced Jaws with this?
Oh, I was upset, but then when I got there and I saw it, I was like, oh, at least they've replaced it with something that's like big and good, rather than replacing it with like Simpsons.
Yeah, I just felt the ride was a bit short, that was all.
It is a short ride, but I really enjoy it.
Because I always think that at the end, when they've done whatever they've got to do and they've got to get out of that bank, it sort of goes over these couple of hills, then it goes back to the loading bay. I'm always like, right, now we do the Mummy, where it goes onto like a proper roller coaster.
Yeah.
But it didn't do that, and I was like, oh, really?
No, it is really short. But I really like it. Definitely. I think they've done really good things with that ride.
We should do a campaign, bring Jaws back.
100%. Jaws, Back to the Future, and Old Kong. Perfect. That's what they should make the new park.
That was exactly what I was going to say. That was my hope for the new park. That they'd go retro with it, even if it was new versions.
That'd be so cool.
I mean, why don't they just shut Simpsons like now and again and put Back to the Future on there? And
exactly, it wouldn't be hard to do because it's just a different video. I think they've kept like everything from that ride and literally changed the video.
Yeah.
So it would be easy. I thought they'd do that on Back to the Future Day and they didn't.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising, really, because everyone made a big deal of that, didn't they? Because it was the day when they went back.
And they didn't really do much for it, did they?
No.
No.
I think they had a T-shirt, and that was it, I think.
Oh, no.
If it was Disney, it'd be a cupcake. Like the 45th anniversary is this October. That'll be just a cupcake, I bet you.
Not good.
No. What else have we got? Anything else? I think we're done, aren't we?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it for another month. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us here. Thank you, dear listener. Please go on to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. Please like and share our stuff. We'll try and keep it as funny as we can. And not the usual rubbish that we put out. And for us, the Universal Edition, we'll see you next month. But for the main show, we're back, aren't we? This next week, aren't we?
Yeah, this Sunday it's the final of the Ultimate Resort.
The Ultimate Resort final, and I believe, Amanda, you're gonna pick the decider. Is that right?
I don't know. Am I?
No, the public are going to pick the decider, but
and then I'm going to stay there.
You're gonna be on, aren't you, next Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going to come on next Sunday.
Yeah, cool.
I'm excited.
It'll be all of us, won't it? I think Craig himself's going to be there. So, that would be good. That's about it, I think. Nothing else to mention, is there?
No.
Nope.
No? Okay, all right. Well, it's cheery bye from me.
Bye.